I'm Dr. Jodi Dinnerman, founder and creator of All Things SEWP School, and we've created an online school for you to engage in from the comfort of your own home with hundreds of hours of content recorded and beautifully created downloads for you to finally fill your practice with your ideal clients, all through automation, so that you don't have to have staff doing things for you, or if you do have staff, you can optimize their talents so that they're not spending their time doing mundane tasks that really don't require the amount of creativity and talent that they really have. The truth of the matter is that we've never had to practice the way that we have to practice now. And what we've created is a solution center for you to pick and choose from whatever is relevant to you in this moment. If you want to focus on marketing and building your practice, then you start with our Marketing Academy. If you want to focus on streamlining your communication systems, then you start with Communication Station, and on and on. We have exhausted the options that you have available to you through SEWP School. The system that we use, the Staffless Practice Success System, really works. Follow our lead and we will take you there, and you will end up with a practice that is far beyond your wildest dreams. My promise to you is to far exceed your expectations. And I think hearing the words from some of our friends that you're about to hear is going to give you confidence in that promise. I can't wait to connect with you soon. If you have any questions for me, please reach out. You can DM me at Staffless Practice through Facebook or Instagram. I'll be here waiting.
You have to think in terms of things not as a cost, but as an investment. What will you get in return? So just as an example, Jodi gives you checklists. Jodi, like I watched, like again, a couple things you produced, and yet, like within these groups, I see some of the posts and the content, and like that's not a cost, that's an investment. So what will you get in return is a smarter question to begin to ask yourself. Cost is kind of a weird word. Could you think about an investment and how fast can you apply it? What can you learn from it? And therefore, did you really spend money or did you invest in something?
Hey, listen, if you want to be a one-woman show or a one-man show for that matter, if you want your patients to have the best experience, if you want to make life easy on yourself, look, the reality is we're going to need to embrace technology. Now, I know a lot of us have a love-hate relationship with technology. I certainly do. But if we understand the right tools to use and we know how to use them, if we have the right systems in place, our life gets exponentially easier. The reality is, gosh, there's such great information out there. There's such great tools out there that we can really make it so much easier on ourselves and a much better experience for our patients. Look, I've been deep inside of Dr. Jodi's program, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's easy to use, it's intuitive, it gets right to the point. And again, if you want to use less staff or you don't want any staff at all, this is a tremendous program. Dr. Jodi is an absolute rock star. I've had the pleasure of working with her since 2009, and she super excels in everything that she does. This staffless program is absolutely wonderful. I can't recommend it enough. As always, much love and aloha. Bye, gang.
What SEWP School does is it cuts your learning curve down dramatically, and it increases your resources dramatically. And those two things, having a big learning curve when you're trying to accomplish a specific thing in practice, and then not having the appropriate resources, will cost you an extreme amount of time, money, stress, everything. Because the things that you teach in SEWP School are all the things that they do not teach us in school, right? Like you can leave and be like, I graduated like in honors, you know, like high GPA, great doctor, like I know all the things. And then you leave and you're like, I'm gonna start a practice. And you're like, lights on, open. And then you're like, oh my God, how do I do like merchant services and this and this and that? Like it is a like literal nightmare, right? So, but SEWP School is like, these are the people. These are the people that do it best. And these are the people that have the best pricing and it's the easiest. And we've already tried it and figured it out for you. And here you go, silver platter. So that makes complete sense, right? Like it is your school for everything that you didn't learn while you were in school. So SEWP School is an absolute must. I mean, for the people that aren't doing it, it's just going to be a lot harder, a lot more time, a lot more money that's wasted.
Jodi's the only person I know that has reached out to us at Jane to get connected and, you know, actually put together a system for people that are looking for this. I've not met another person who is this passionate about teaching others and giving her knowledge to, you know, the other people here. It's unbelievable the community that you've created, the amount of work that you put into SEWP School, how great it looks.
You know, I had finally gotten to a place in practice where I knew a change had to be made. I was spending countless time and energy and money learning systems that just weren't working for me. And when I get pushed to my edge outside of my comfort zone, I create a new system. I create a new way of doing things. And I was pushed over and over, and finally I had to create a new way of doing things. And that was the beginning of staffless practice systems, figuring out how to run my practice in an automated way, but still keep my people happy, still serve from a place of high integrity, and most importantly, really enjoying my practice experience. And you know what? That's exactly what I did.
I mean, like, just look at the chart templates, like the SEWP chart templates there. I don't know. I would give you a round of applause just for that alone. These Geek Out with Alex sessions, I love it too. I'm so glad that we're working together, and I wouldn't give you like enough of a recommendation just by my own words here. So
I've been a chiropractor for over 20 years, and I am learning things that I never even thought about as far as practice management, as far as making the experience for the patients much better, and in turn to organizing my thoughts. And it feels like this program is not only allowing me to serve more people, make more money, but actually be more passionate and comfortable and happy and things flowing, and not being so stressed out during the day because I feel like I'm trying to do too many things at once and reinventing the wheel all the time. I recently just signed up for Jane software, and because of Dr. Jodi's information, I was able to probably save like 15 hours of time by using her templates. That's just like icing on the cake of all the other things that I've learned so far. The biggest one for me really was the checklist, and creating checklists for everything that I do, so everything becomes super organized. And I think that 2021 is maybe my best year in practice because of SEWP School.
This program is just like beyond amazing. Now, I've spent much money, a lot of money on coaching programs and practice management groups and everything, just diving into and learning business. And so I'm about 6 years into being a chiropractor, and I can tell you that most of it didn't resonate for me. And then I found SEWP School, and I was like, this is like my golden northern star guiding me. Like, Dr. Jodi is just amazing. She's put heart and soul into everything she does, and it really just saves you a ton of time and a ton of money. And the key is that it's all done congruent. So you get to like figure out your ideal client, and you get to do it so that your practice members don't feel like, hey, I'm going to this practice and she's just by herself and I don't get the attention. Like, my practice members feel like they are loved, cared for, And most importantly, I suddenly have my life back. So the only way to love and care for them before was to run myself ragged. And thank you, Dr. Jodi. I have now established boundaries and I don't do that anymore. So it's like you can have the best of all worlds.
Spring of 2020 hit and the world changed overnight. Like just like that, we needed to step up our game and figure out a new way of being in practice. And I was good because I had already been running a practice without staff and my systems were already streamlined. And a lot of my colleagues and friends and people I haven't spoke to in many years reached out to me because they knew that I was already running a practice without staff. And they would say, hey, Jodi, what's that thing you do with your phone? How do you run your phone so that your clients can still get everything they need without you being there? And hey, Jodi, what's that thing you do with your billing system? And how do you do the marketing if nobody is running the front desk for you? And what do you do with a new client? And the questions kept coming in, maybe 4 or 5 different practitioners over the course of a week or two. And I specifically remember sitting in my office on a cold, rainy April day in spring of 2020 and looking around and saying, okay, it's time for me to step up my game. It's time for me to serve my community and give them solutions because we need them like yesterday. And I made a list of the companies and the leaders and the teachers that made it possible for me to run a practice without staff in a really fun-filled, automated way. And what I did is I just picked up the phone and I started calling these companies and saying, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Russ, Rosen, I'm thinking about running a school. Do you want to come in and teach? And Shaylin Osborne, I'm thinking about running a school. Do you want to come in and teach? And the list goes on. And they all said yes. And they were like, this needs to happen yesterday. And that's what we did. We created SEWP School.
If you're going along with what's usual and customary in our profession, then that's what most people would do. They would hire, train, and keep their staff. However, there's never been a more important time than now to ensure that you are financially rewarded and rewarded well from your practice. And you'll quickly find that hiring, training, and keeping employees happy is very expensive. Oftentimes, behind closed doors in one-to-one conversations, I find that practice owners are not paying themselves or not paying themselves very much at all because almost all of the income in their business is going to cover the payroll and the payroll taxes. And like I said, there's never been a more important time than now to ensure that you're financially rewarded. And there are a lot of coaching programs available for chiropractors and similar professions. And in most of them, you'll find that it's just more of the same, that what's been passed down from generation to generation, if you will, doesn't necessarily work in today's world. So I hope that you'll dive in here with us at SEWP School and get on your way to living the life that you want to live and making more money doing it.
And I can tell you that if I would have found SEWP School early in practice, I would have had I could have saved time and money researching resources, finding them, choosing the wrong ones that aren't really, in my best interest, and having to constantly change things and figure things out. It's a lot less stumbling and falling on your face, and you get to actually start like way ahead of the game.